Welcome to Valencia and welcome back to the Carenado Beach Barren. We're going to be using the Reality Expansion Pack. Now, the reason I'm using the Carenado Barren rather than stock is because it just looks better. I'm not sure if the stock Barren's actually been improved yet. I keep hearing that it's going to be improved at some point. But for now, the Barren is, or the Carenado Barren is the one I would prefer to use. It's always a good idea to pick it up on sale whenever it is available, even with the XP10 version rather than XP11, which still hasn't been released. I'm not sure when that will happen, but there's not a great deal of difference between the XP11 and XP10 versions of these aircraft. Okay, today we're going to be looking at a traffic pattern. We've looked at traffic patterns in the 172, of course. The Barren is a more powerful aircraft. Things tend to happen more quickly. You have to be more precise in how you control the aircraft. Now, as with the Cessna 172, we're looking for landmarks. We're going to take off on runway 30, raise the landing gear, turn the yaw damper on, and we're looking for an altitude of 500 feet AGL. Airport elevation, I think it's 247 feet, so we'll round that up to 300. So we're looking for altitude on the altimeter of 800 feet. At that point we turn left to a heading of 210. Our first landmark is going to be a ridge which runs east to west, south of the airport. As we approach an elevated road, we will turn left again onto the downwind leg. We're going to be looking for a heading of 120. Roughly abeam the threshold, we will lower the landing gear and add the first stage of flaps. Probably looking for about 120 knots at that point. And as we approach the coast, we will turn left again to 030. And we're looking for the port and also a river which runs south of Valencia. We're going to be looking to turn left onto the final leg, a little bit south of the river, and at that point we straighten out, looking for the runway, add full flaps, and we're looking for an approach speed of about 100 knots. Again, everything tends to happen a little bit more quickly because the aircraft is more powerful. So I think the key to turning onto from the base leg to the final leg is to get a consistent airspeed of about 120. If you can get a consistent speed, you have a better idea of the turn onto the final leg. Now, the landing itself isn't perfect. I still need to work on that. Landing the Barren I normally break things down into the round out and the flare, and with the round out I'm bringing the power back, and then for the flare bring the nose up. Then I'll add a little bit of power to control the sink rate. So I think it's important or useful in this aircraft to break it down. Don't just think in terms of the flare, but think in terms of the round out and the flare. Round out bringing the power back, flare nose up, and just adding a little bit of power as necessary to control the descent rate. And of course, next we will look at the actual approach on the final leg itself. And here we are on the final leg. It's flying almost parallel to the river. No airspeed is about 100 knots. We have full flaps, landing gear down. And we're just trying to control our approach here. We have a 10 knot crosswind from the left from 210 degrees. So we're trying to keep straight on the runway, almost ignoring where the nose of the aircraft is pointing, just keeping the track of the aircraft as centered on center line as we can, while at the same time managing the descent rate, managing the airspeed, trying to keep as much control of the approach as possible, and then close to the runway threshold, it's more important then to make sure that the nose of the aircraft is lined up with center line. You can use the wing low method all the way through the approach, or you can crab for as late as is necessary and then use the wing low method. It's a little bit untidy on touchdown. I touched down a little bit later than I would have liked, but that's all about learning to manage power and the pitch of the aircraft to get a smooth touchdown. You're looking for a final descent rate of about 100 FPM. So still just trying to keep it centered. Left wing low. Trying to be careful not to get pushed to the right by that crosswind. And just adding a little bit of power as we raise the nose. Want to decrease power initially on the round out to avoid climbing as you pitch up, and then add a little bit of power just to manage that descent. A little bit untidy on touchdown, but pretty much center line, and controlled rollout, slowing the aircraft down. Hope you enjoyed that and found it useful, and as always, feel free to like, comment and subscribe.